This is Gary Butterfield.
This is Cole Ross.
This is Monster, my podcast.
And this is The Roper.
There's a monster in my podcast.
Yeah. I was real sad when the Ropers went away and they were replaced with the Furleys.
I was waiting for that. I didn't remember any of the names, but I knew that was going to happen. So you can actually, if we played it back in slow mo, you can hear the sigh. I did that, which was I was about to say something, but then realized, and that was an involuntary sigh. It's not because I think it's bad that you made that reference that a lot of our audience will surely find vital and hilarious. I just think that, it was just a that kind of thing where you're like running to jump into a pool and then your mom says like, no, you can't get wet. Is that kind of thing. So
no, Gary, you're cast. Oh, yeah, summer's ruined.
Yeah, it was that kind of sigh. So I don't actually, I'm not actually opposed to the Mr. Roper joke.
No, it's fine.
Even though I do like the idea of Mr. Roper as this guy.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He's just hanging around this little structure. Like, oh, don't mind Mr. Roper. Just like comes around the corner. Oops, yeah.
Sorry, I'm laughing way too much this time. That was very funny.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say that this is the quickest the Monsters Manual has ever lied to us.
Because
we have that illustration, the very first sentence. A roper resembles a rocky outcropping.
No, it doesn't.
No. Yeah, no. First of all, like I can't. A rocky outcropping is a very complicated thing to resemble.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem right in general. Yeah. But the illustrator did not get the memo for this thing.
Yeah. The roper resembles the concept of brotherly love. Well.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Yeah. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And
they will disguise themselves as like stalagmites and boulders and stuff like that. They can't hang from the ceiling, but they are meant to be, kind of mimic like in that way. Just another part of this cave ecosystem. The illustration makes him look like this looks like a betentacled Slimer with one eye. Yes. Yeah. Cyclops Slimer,
with a bunch of like, kind of gooey ropes, and that's kind of his one trick.
Right. So he's a grappling rock.
Yes.
Yeah. He sends out strands that enfeeble the people that they get around, and then draw them in toward his maw that is ringed with these, massive teeth.
Slimy teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like fairly boring. Like
right.
He's just like, he just draws people in with his ropes. Yeah. That's his thing with his tentacles. Like, but we've had a lot of like tentacled slime monsters.
Yeah.
In our day.
Yeah.
Even
the reproduction isn't that sexy. Used to be I could jack off to this book. No, they just shed a little part of themselves and it grows. Like they just leave a little.
Yeah, they bud.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad. I'm sure we talked about this, but I'm really glad that people don't reproduce that way.
Oh,
because I would have a real hard time. Like one, like it's fun to have sex, but two, it would be real weird. Like what if you like you come over and like someone answers the door and like they just peek out the corner, and you can kind of hear like wet behind them and they're too like polite to say like oh like come back later because I'm budding. Like what would that be in our culture if we could do that? Like it would be a very private thing.
I mean, the way I picture this, the way that I picture this is like, all right, I cut my fingernails into the trash can, like like you do. Wake up the next morning, and I hear, wait, is that the sound of 10 crying babies?
Yeah.
Oh no,
trash can's knocked over. Your kitchen is just crawling with tiny little like gingers like digging through your pantry.
Where's the jerky?
Searching for chili. Yeah. Or like if it's just your fingernails, it's like that Grant Morrison guy who's all of his skin flakes turn into golems of himself that only last 1 hour.
Ugh.
It's a real like gross. Like every little bit of him turns into a gross golem. I mean it would be real weird. Like it would really everyone would Gattaca. Like we would scrub ourselves down with like emollients to get rid of all those skin flakes and nails and everything. We'd all do it into a bag. And that bag would have to go into an incinerator, and then there would be people who are like protesting it as like, we can't do that. That's human life.
Yeah, every cell is sacred. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be real weird.
Yeah.
And if they got their way, like we'd just be overrun. Like, how many kids do you think you could raise, Cole?
Like, I can barely take care of myself, Gary.
Yeah, like just if you just woke up tomorrow with 10 kids, Like, how much of a fuck you would that be from fate? You know,
I feel pretty proud of myself for keeping this plant alive for 3 weeks.
Like, I once a succulent once saw its 1 month anniversary under my care. I cannot have a bunch of skin cell babies. All of my fingernails cannot grow into fully functional clones of myself.
The Skin Cell Babies is a really good band name.
Skin Cell Babies.
Brought to you by our backers at patreon.com/duckfeed.tv.